The following video is songs that I've chosen to sing to my children and my grandchildren to come for many years to help them go to sleep at night. So these songs attached to this video are for you. Good night. Pepe loves you. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. Little girl came to the front gate holding a fishing pole. Johnny's daddy looked down and smiled and said, "We can't leave her behind, son. I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind." And Johnny said, "Take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Toe, son. Take my best friend Bo. Take anybody else you want, as long as she don't go. Take any boy in the world. Daddy, please don't take the girl. Same old boy, same sweet girl, 10 years down the road." He holds her tight and kissed her lips in front of the picture show. A stranger came and pulled a gun. He grabbed her by the arm. "If you do what I tell you to, there won't be any harm." And Johnny said, "Take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Here's the watch that my grandpa gave me. Here's the keys to my car. Oh, mister, give it a whirl. But please don't take the girl. Same old boy, same sweet girl, 5 years down the road. There's gonna be a little warning." She said, "It's time to go. The doctor says the baby's fine, but you'll have to leave 'cause his mama's fading fast." And Johnny hit his knees and there he prayed, "Take the very breath you gave me. Take the heart from my chest. I'll gladly take her place if you let me. Make this my last request. Don't take me out of this world. God, please don't take the girl." I read a note my grandma wrote back in 1923. Grandpa kept it in his coat and he showed it once to me. He said, "Boy, you might not understand, but a long, long time ago, Grandma's daddy didn't like me none, but I loved your grandma so. We had this crazy plan to meet and run away together, get married in the first town we came to, and live forever, but nailed to the tree where we were supposed to meet instead. I found this letter, and this is what it read. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. I don't know how long I'll be. I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. 'Cause between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. I read these words just hours before my grandma passed away. Standing in the church door where me and Grandpa stopped to pray. You know I never seen him cry in all my 14 years. But as he said these words to her, his eyes filled up with tears. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. I don't know how long I'll be. I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. But between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. I know you're getting tired. Pepe's getting tired too. So close your eyes, and dream the whole night through. Will you go to sleep before I do? Will you close your eyes real tight? And will you go to sleep before I do? So we can cuddle all through the night. Don't need no drink of water brought in from the kitchen sink. Close your eyes, you need your 40 winks. Will you go to sleep before I do? Will you close your eyes real tight? And will you go to sleep before I do? So we can cuddle all through the night. It's 3:30 in the morning. There's not a soul in sight. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonless summer's night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's heading back from somewhere he never should have been, and the thunder rolls. Boom, 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 and the thunder rolls. Every light is burning in a house across town. She's pacing by the window in a faded flannel gown, asking for a miracle and hoping she's not right, praying against the weather that's kept him out all night, and the thunder rolls. Boom, 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 and the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night, and as the storm blows all out of control, deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. She's waiting by the window when he pulls into the drive. She rushes out to hold him, thankful he's alive. Through all that wind and rain, a strange new perfume blows. Lightning flashes in her eyes, and he knows that she knows when the thunder rolls. Boom, boom, boom. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night. And as the storm blows all out of control, deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. Just the other night, at a hometown football game, my wife and I ran into my old high school flame. And as I introduced them, the past came back to me, and I couldn't help but think of the way things used to be. She was the one that I had wanted for all times, and each night I'd spent praying that God would make her mine. And if he'd only grant me this wish I wished back then, I'd never ask for anything again. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he doesn't answer, it don't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. She wasn't quite the angel that I had remembered in my dreams, and I could tell the times have changed her. In my eyes too it seemed. We tried to talk about the old days, there wasn't much we could recall. I guess the good Lord knows what he's doing after all. And as I walked away, I looked at my wife, and then and there I thanked the good Lord for the gifts in my life. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he doesn't answer, it don't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. The bar was empty, and I was sweeping up the floor. That's when she walked in. I said, I'm sorry, but we're closed. And she said, I know, but I'm afraid I left my purse. I put one up behind the bar. I bet it's probably yours. Then the next thing that I knew, there we were, lost in conversation. Before I handed her her purse, I said, you'll only get this back on one condition. And we danced out there on that empty hardwood floor. The chairs all up, the lights turned way down low. We held each other close and we danced. From that moment, there was never any doubt. I had finally found the one that I had always dreamed about. And then one evening, when she stopped by after work, I pulled a diamond ring out of the pocket of my shirt. Her eyes filled up with tears, and she said, "This is the last thing I expected." Then she took me by the hand. She said she'd only marry me on one condition. And we danced out there on that empty hardwood floor. Chairs all up and lights turned way down low. The music played, we held each other close, and we danced. Look at the two of you dancing that way, lost in the moment of each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place, like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one, she told me so, and she still means the world to me. Just so you know, be careful when you hold my girl. Time changes everything, life must go on, and I'm not gonna stand in your way. But I loved her first, and I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, and I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I pray that she find you someday, and it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. How could that beautiful woman with you be the same little girl I once knew? The one that I sang all those lullabies to, and tucked into bed all those nights. And I knew the first time I saw her with you, it was only a matter of time. But I loved her first, and I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, and I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I pray that she find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first, from the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me. I knew that the love of a father runs deep. Someday you might know what I'm going through, when that miracle smiles up at you. I loved her first. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above, and for a moment All the world seemed right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? But now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Yes, our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd had to miss the dance. Holding you, I held everything, and for a moment, wasn't I your king? And if I'd only known how the king would fall, oh, who's to say? I might have changed it all, but now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. And our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd had to miss the dance. When I was a little bitty boy, my grandmammy bought me this cute little toy. Silver bells hanging on a string. She told me it was my ding-a-ling-a-ling, singing my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Everybody sing. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. When Mama sent me to grammar school, I got off with the best of you, but every time that bell would ring, the teacher catch me playing with my ding-a-ling-a-ling, singing my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Everybody sing. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Once I was sitting on the garden wall, slipped and had a terrible fall. Fell so hard I heard bells ring. With both hands are holding my ding-a-ling-a-ling, singing my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Everybody sing. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Once I was swimming across Turtle Creek. Man, those snappers all around my feet. Swam so hard through that creek, but one hand was holding my ding-a-ling-a-ling, singing my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Everybody sing. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Now this here song, it ain't so bad. It's the cutest little song you ever done had. And for those of you who will not sing, you must be playing with your own ding-a-ling, singing my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Everybody sing, I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled right out the door into the garden and under a bush. Then my poor meatball was nothing but mush. So if you're ever eating spaghetti, please listen to me. Hold on to your meatball before somebody sneezes.